Right, we're here with the food intolerance test device, which we've got at the clinic in Manchester, and Keith, Mr. Knight's going to explain to us why somebody would want to have their food intolerance testing or their body tested with this device.
Many people today suffer from food intolerances, and this is mainly due to the immune system becoming oversensitive to certain foods. And if these foods are continually eaten, the immune system becomes even more sensitive. Therefore, the person normally then becomes more sensitive to even more and more food, so it's a negative knock-on effect. The problem is the symptoms associated with food intolerances aren't severe as they would be with an allergy. So with an allergy you get an instant reaction within seconds of eating the food. With an intolerance you're still going to get a reaction, but it's normally more subtle. But you might not get a reaction or a symptom for 2 or 3 days after eating the offending food, which is why it is difficult to identify the problem foods.
So the machine would identify the very specific problem and highlight to the person who's having the test?
That's correct. So during the test we are testing over 100 different foods, and the computerized system will identify which of those foods the patient is reacting to. And it will give a degree of intolerance. So it might be mild intolerance, it might be moderate, or it might be severe. After the test is completed, we can then obviously talk about a plan to help the body recover or deal with the intolerance. And it's usually by changing the diet over a period of time, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. That's normally long enough.
Okay, and the person, they would see the results instantly, they would get the feedback from the machine.
As we are doing the test, there's a visual display on the computer, so each time we are testing a specific item, the results can be seen on the screen. After the test, all the results are printed off, full colour print, which gives you obviously every item that's a problem, which items are okay, and it also gives you the degree of sensitivity for each of the items.
When people have avoided those foods that they're intolerant to, what sort of change do they go through? Do they have positive or sometimes negative at first?
It depends on how the body's reacting to the foods. If they've been out of balance for quite a period of time, sometimes they might experience a healing crisis. That's usually a good sign that things are changing. It usually means that toxins are being released from the body, or the body is craving certain foods that you're suddenly avoiding, especially sugars. Most people are addicted to sugar. It's a very addictive substance. So by suddenly cutting them from the diet, sometimes you might get slight withdrawal symptoms, but that's a good sign that things are changing and things are rebalancing.
Okay, how long has this machine been around, and how long have you been working with the device, and what's it called?
This is the BEST system, bioenergetic stress testing. The technology has been around since the 1950s. It was developed by a guy called Reinhold Voll, who was a German. Obviously the computer technology isn't what it is today, so basically the system has been refined since the late 70s, 80s, 90s to become more compact, more portable, and obviously more sensitive and more accurate.
So on a basic test, what would the person be doing, for instance, on one of the tests? What would you have to do? How's it applied?
It's a very simple technique. The patient, the client, would be holding a metal mass which is connected to the BEST system, which in turn is connected to the computer system. The therapist will then probe acupressure points on the fingers, and that will give us the readings on the computer screen. So the probe is actually inputting a resonance or an energy which is compatible or identical to the energy or resonance of the foods we're testing.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you for your time, and we'll see that on the Stress Solutions website.